The English Podcast by Ecsplicite.
Welcome to the Explicit Podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Lawrence. And today we're going across the Atlantic to Canada. Jenny, have you ever been to Canada?
No, I haven't, but I work every day with our Canadian colleagues who live and work near Toronto in the state of Ontario, close to the Great Lakes, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yes, I know Cecilia, who is our guest today, lives in Ontario, in St. Catharines to be precise, which is the biggest city in the region of Niagara. And today she's chosen a topic that has grabbed the headlines: puppies and the pandemic.
To grab the headlines means to become a top story in the news. Do you have any pets, Lawrence?
Well, we used to have 2 dogs and 3 cats, as it happens, but now it's just us. And you, Jenny, didn't you adopt a couple of kittens recently?
Yeah, I did. 2 furry friends, and we love having them around. Well, Cecilia's going to tell us about puppies in Canada during the pandemic. Can you guess what happened? A, did they all catch COVID and get sick? B, did people adopt them as pets? Or C, did they become a national mascot?
Well, let's listen and find out.
During the pandemic in Canada, when everyone was stuck at home, parents and children alike, people started thinking about what they wanted to do to entertain themselves.
Cecilia talks about everyone being stuck at home. To be stuck somewhere means to be forced to stay in one place.
In Canada, one of the most popular purchases was a puppy, believe it or not. I mean, you would think it would be electronics or something like that, but in Canada, we have a reputation for being sort of obsessive about our pets.
Cecilia tells us that puppies were a
Popular purchase.
A purchase is something you buy. So, yes, the answer is B. Puppies were the most popular pet in Canada during the pandemic.
So what's happened since then? Is it a happy ending?
What's happening now that the pandemic is over, people have lived with their pets for 2 years. People are thinking, I bought this dog and he's much bigger than I thought he was going to be. He's more expensive. He requires a lot more time than I ever imagined. So we're going to just return this dog to where we bought it. So people are surrendering these poor mutts in droves back to the puppy mills, back to the breeders, back to the rescues, and back to the stores where they bought them.
Cecilia talks about
surrendering these poor mutts in droves.
Surrendering these poor mutts in droves. A mutt describes a dog which is a mix of different breeds. The expression in droves suggests the movement of a large number of cattle or farm animals, and surrendering means giving up after a long, difficult time.
So I guess this is not a happy ending after all, if the dogs are going back to rescues. A rescue is a shelter or home for abandoned animals.
But the story ends on a more positive note as Cecilia explains how she intends to take advantage of the situation.
As for myself, I think I'm just going to take advantage of the situation and see if I can find the puppy of my dreams. I've always wanted a border collie because my dream hobby is doing dog agility with a border collie. I was talking to somebody about that the other day and it just sounds like so much fun.
So maybe there is a silver lining after all. A silver lining is an advantage that comes from a difficult or unpleasant situation.
So, let's just go back over the vocabulary from today's subject. Do you remember the expression, when a story is in the news, we say,
it's grabbed the headlines.
And when we're forced to stay in one place,
we are stuck somewhere.
Something you buy
is a purchase.
A dog of mixed breed
is a mutt.
A drove
is a movement of cattle.
And to give up after a difficult time
is to surrender.
A home for abandoned pets
is a rescue.
And finally, an advantage in a difficult situation is called a silver lining.
Well, The lesson of the story for me is that you should really think twice before getting a pet, because like children, they need lots of care and attention.
Sure, and they can also cost a lot of money.
Thanks for listening.
Bye for now.